welcome back to the official week 7 of the Keto Powerlifting Prep. So the previous 6 weeks have been the accumulation phase, which effectively is a base building and form adjustment phase, where we do have quite a high volume and a reasonable intensity, but it's more about getting the lifting right and building that base. So now we're moving on to the pre-competition phase. And for me, this pre-competition phase is a little bit shorter than it should be. It's probably about 4 weeks for me, and that's just due to scheduling, as I picked out a powerlifting comp that was a bit closer than we would have hoped ideally. But like I've said before, as I have an extensive background in lifting, I really feel like I should be able to get the most out of this prep and be ready for that competition day. So to talk about the changes moving into the pre-competition phase, the main changes are the rest periods. So generally I've been working on rest periods of 2 to 3 minutes between the main sets, whereas this week we'll be increasing the rest periods to 5 to 8 minutes between the main sets. Now the reason for this is the intensity has been lifted up, so we're working at a much higher percentage of the maximum. So in that case we need to have a longer rest period so we can ensure that the form stays solid and I can actually get all the reps. So to speak about reps, I've been working between the 5 to 7 rep range of late, whereas this week we're actually lowering that down to 2 to 3 reps for the main lifts. And then as far as the accessory lifts, I've generally been working between 10 and 15 reps, whereas this week I'll be working between 5 and 10 reps. So the reps are coming down, but the weight's going up, and then the rest periods are also increased. That's the main changes to the lifting this week. So to talk about the body part schedule, so previously I've been doing a leg day, a chest day, a back day, and then a shoulder and accessories day. Whereas moving forward, the schedule now is day 1 is a squat day with squat variations. Day 2 is a bench press day with bench press variations. Day 3 is a deadlift day with squat variations and some back accessories. And then day 4 is a second chest day with some variations. So 2 chest days, 2 leg days, and 1 back day. So it's a pretty big change there as far as how the workouts will be scheduled. So it'd be interesting to see how I go on this new part of the program. Also this week, I'll be looking to train at the gym where the powerlifting competition is to be held. So it'd be great to check out that new environment and get some experience in that environment, because it is a bit of a change, and as we've seen in the past, these variables definitely can play havoc on the lift. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes, but I'm really looking forward to it. So once again, today is leg day. It's an afternoon training session, which is a little bit out of the normal, but it's just the way the schedule's working for me at the moment, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll try and get a bunch of footage around the main lifts and then come back a bit later in the week and break it down. So I'll see you a bit later on. So the squats this week, 3x3 at 140 kilos. And as you can see on the freeze frame, this camera angle actually exposed my lack of depth on the squats. Now this was something that I picked up on, and moving forward I need to put a major focus on getting deeper for the squats, because the rules are the hip crease must be deeper than the highest part of the knee. So moving forward, if we can't get deeper, it's going to be red lights from the judges on competition day. So chest day this week, 3x3 at 90 kilos. And as you can see here, my setup is looking pretty good. Pretty happy with the way that's going. And the 3x3 was no trouble this week. So really happy with the way the bench press went. My right AC shoulder is still giving me a little bit of grief, but not to the point where it's hindering my workout. So really happy with the bench press day. On to the deadlifts, 2x2 at 187.5 kilos. And this was the first time using the deadlift bar, which has a little bit more flex. Now, as you can see here, my back
my shoulders and my hips should rise together. However, my hips rise first, effectively loading up the lower back and then putting extra strain on it. So moving forward, I need to try and keep that form tight to keep the pressure off that lower back. On to the second squat workout for the week. So as you can see there, I made some improvements on the depth and I put a major focus on this after the deadlifts. In saying that, I did have a slight impingement in the lower back, but hopefully it's not going to be too much of a concern moving forward. But a great workout anyway. So the second chest workout for the week. Now, considering my shoulder has been giving me some issues, it was good to see that this didn't cause any further strain. Now, this was one of the variations, the Spotto bench press, which effectively is a shorter range of movement, stopping the bar short of the chest. So, a great chest workout.
Welcome back. So, to recap the week that was, considering there was some major changes as far as the workouts, the scheduling and the weight goes, I was really happy with the workouts this week. I mean, the form felt reasonably solid, I felt strong, and I think that the workouts went really well. Now, to talk about this niggling shoulder AC injury, it is still there. I've been managing it for the last couple of weeks, but it didn't hinder any of my chest or shoulder workouts this week. So although it is still a niggle, I think moving forward it'll be okay, and hopefully we can continue to improve it or just manage it as we move on towards this powerlifting comp. Now, like I said, as far as my squats go, I was a little bit exposed this week with the depth. Now, on that second squat day, I managed to get deeper. However, in saying that, I did have a little niggle flare up in the lower back. So once again, this is a little injury that I have had previously, and it's something that I'll need to manage moving forward. And I have a couple of days rest before the next leg workout, so hopefully it does improve and doesn't get any worse. So to talk about these little injuries, I mean, I've been training quite consistently for some time, and these little niggles come and go. I really feel as we're getting closer to the pointy end of this preparation, the weights are being increased, the load is being increased. I mean, I'm going to be more susceptible to these little problems, but hopefully I can just manage them, and if they don't get any worse, they shouldn't have a major impact on the entirety of this prep. So that's just to talk about these little injuries. Now, life outside of the keto powerlifting prep. So this week was my week off, and I managed to get a couple of scuba dives in, and I was really lucky to be able to spear a couple of fish and grab a few crays. So a fairly active week off, which in turn plays into my desire to lose a little bit of body fat. Now this week I don't have a physique update as such, but this shot of me with the crayfish kind of shows where the physique is at. And I managed to weigh myself a few times on the calibrated scales this week, and I was weighing in between 83 kilos and 83.5 kilos. Now, in saying this was fully clothed after a pre-workout coffee and some water. So I feel like I'm pretty close to that 82.5 kilo mark. In saying that, it is Christmas this week, so I probably won't lose any more weight this week. But it still leaves me with a couple of weeks to drop that last half a kilo and weigh in the day before the comp at under 82.5 kilos. So the weight is tracking really well. Now, to talk about nutrition, this week it's been instinctive eating keto carnivore again. Steak, eggs and coffee for breakfast, bacon, eggs and coffee for lunch. I also managed to get some liver in this week for a nutrient boost. However, I also did have some alcoholic beverages this week, which would hinder my nutrition. But in saying that, it's about as good as it gets for nutrition for me, and it's at a sustainable level, so really happy with the nutrition this week. Also, to talk about the recovery, as far as the recovery survey goes this week, I scored really highly, and I feel like it's about as good as it gets for me, once again on that sustainability level. So moving forward, if I can just keep this recovery at this level, I feel like I'll be doing the best I can come competition day. So really happy with where the recovery is at. So that pretty much wraps up week 7 of the keto powerlifting prep. I'm looking forward to week 8. There may be some minor adjustments again as I try and continue improving this form across the board, but we'll just have to wait and see. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, hopefully you've learnt something, and until the next episode, thanks for watching.